My name is Kiersten, and I just have a short message for you today. I was really thinking about leadership is best done in community. The story begins in Exodus 17, where the people are grumbling and they're so frustrated and they're blaming Moses and they're saying things like, "Why did you take us out here? Isn't this journey ever going to end? Why can't we find water? Didn't you say that God was going to provide for us?" And then God tells Moses to go to the Nile River and to strike the rock so that water can come out. And then to use that same staff, hold it up, and as long as he was holding it up, the Israelites were winning. But when he lowered the staff, the Israelites were losing. Wow, that is an immense amount of pressure. But then scripture also tells us that when Moses' hands grew tired, they took a stone, put it underneath of him, and he sat on it. And then Aaron and Hur held up his hands, one on one side and one on the other side, so that his hands would remain steady until sunset. Now, to me, this tells me that Moses was tired. And I think if we were to be honest, we would reflect on this passage and we would say, you know what? We all get tired from time to time. Maybe his heart was strong, but his flesh was weak. And I wonder if Moses, if he knew and he willed himself to be obedient, but yet he knew that he couldn't fulfill what God was asking him to do all alone. He had to have help. He had to be interdependent. Have you ever asked someone for help to walk with you through a specific season? Or maybe have you ever had to borrow someone else's faith during a season? You see, this is why I think leadership is best done in community, because we all need someone to help hold our hands. We all need someone to speak into our lives, to remind us why we do what we do, and we all, at one time or another, have to borrow someone else's faith. Some say that leadership is lonely at the top, but I wonder if the best kind of leadership is actually the leadership that where God is asking us to obediently live out what he's calling us to do and pave the way for other people to come behind and live the life that God's asking them to live. I wonder if that best leadership really is done in community. Because of this, you can't have accountability without community. And no one should have to walk this faith journey alone, ever. And so here's the leadership lesson that I think that we can learn from this. It's about who you're leading with. So, who are you leading with? Who is holding up your hands? Who amidst the grumbling and the frustration will hold up your hands steady, one on one side and one on the other, so that you can remain steadfast, you can remain obedient. You see, as small group point people, it is our job to be in community. And it is our job to seek accountability. So, my encouragement for you today is this: put a buddy system in place. Ask a friend to hold you accountable, someone who will call you out, someone who you can rely on, someone who can hold up your hands when you need it the most. Yes, I think obedience is about the relationship you have with God, but I also think it's communal. There is power in being obedient together as a community. So, are you trying to lead from a place all on your own? Lead out of obedience just by yourself? Or are you and your small group point people, are you obeying God together, holding up each other's hands? You see, leadership is best done in community.